Well, it's me again, and in that rather dark corner of the forest known as Clipston Old Quarter, this is another glowworm walk. It's the first one I've filmed since May the 27th, I think it was, when we found the first female glowworm here of 2023. There's been a number of visits since then. In fact, I haven't been up for a few nights. I'm not doing every night. I'm coming up every sort of 2 or 3 nights. But someone was up here last night and recorded approximately 6 females. It's clouded over now. We've had a lovely day today, some sun again, and the clouds come over, so that will keep the temperature up, because earlier on, while the skies were clear, the temperature felt cold to me, cold enough for me to put a jumper on. But anyway, we're heading that way. It's a quick walk round. Most of you will know the routine by now. I'm going to see just how many glowworms we can find, but there's an extra little bit to go in this video, and I'll insert it. But it's a view of a glowworm pupa, and more about that later on. So now it's into the darkness and up Clipston Old Quarter. Well, I'm halfway down section O, which, for those that don't know, is the first of a number of survey sections that I go through when surveying for glowworms here at Clipston Old Quarter. I'll put a map in here and I'll talk you through the sections as we go. This is section O. It leads from Peafield Lane between Edwinstowe and Mansfield Woodhouse. I then walk down here. I turn left and go along section L and M. I come back, retracing my steps through both those sections, and then it's uphill, going through sections K and J up to the centre tree, round the back of the centre tree, and then down the grass strip sections of D, C, B and A in that order. So we'll see how many we can get tonight. This is June the 8th. I think I forgot to mention the actual date in the introduction. But once again, a rather cool night for June. We need some rain as well. Some rain would probably boost the numbers here. Quite often in the past, Dillis and myself recorded our best glowworm numbers on nights when it was rather wet. Well, I've come along section L for the first time and gone to the end of section M. I'm just retracing my steps back through section M, and here is a really showy female glowworm. She's about 6 to 8 inches off the ground. She's clinging to a blade of grass that is bent over, and so the glowing plates are facing upwards in the ideal situation to attract a mate. Many of the glowworms, which there's only been a small number really so far this year, have been single night females. There's a couple that have stayed for 2 or 3 nights, but this is a new one. I never tire of seeing these. We'll see if we can illuminate this female just a touch. I've got the wrong glasses on tonight, so the ones I've got are for driving, so I can't see whether this is in focus on the phone, but it seems to be. And if I don't move the light, hopefully the phone will remain focused on this female. There doesn't appear to be a male with her. Quite often, once they've got a male and the male has locked on, the female will descend to the ground and quite often will crawl around with the male. But this one is glowing absolutely beautifully. No matter how many I see of these, and I've seen getting on towards 1,500 to 2,000 female glowworms over the years, I never tire of getting views like this. So We'll let her go into darkness and remove the light. The nightjars have been quiet this evening. There's been a bit of chirring going on, but it's been distant and further up at the side of section J, and that's where I'm heading shortly through sections K and J up to the centre tree. But I have just found a second female glowworm towards the end of section L behind me, but she was quite low down to the ground and not glowing particularly brightly. So 2 glowworms so far this evening, nothing in section O, which is a section which is yet to become active for female glowworms this year, but second female of the year in section M, and then second of the year in section L. So 2 female glowworms is the current running total as we head wheezily up the hill towards the centre tree. Well, I'm now about halfway up section J, and in contrast to the glowworm that I filmed in section M, here's one in an altogether different situation, and she's just been lying on her back face up. As you can see now, she's actually turned round here, and so she's glowing sort of face onto the ground. She'll probably turn around, in fact she is doing, look, but this one is actually on the track. Now I'll just illuminate it so you can have an idea. I wouldn't be surprised if there isn't a male with this one. No, there isn't. But you can see the situation in which she is. I'll take the light off her. So she's obviously just readjusting her position. She's got nothing to sit on. That's the problem here. If she comes across a stone, then she may well she's actually turning to face us a little bit now. This is the second in section J. I have found one in section K. So we're doing quite well in terms of counts. And she can't quite find a suitable situation, this one, from which to glow, so we'll move it off the path to somewhere a little bit more safe than this. Well, I've ended up with 4 in section J. That makes a running total of 7. As I stand here now in front of the majestic, although you can't see it, centre tree, I'm hoping that we may well get into double figures by the time I've gone through section D, which I'm in now, C, B, and finally A. But I mentioned earlier in the video about the glowworm pupa, and viewers to this channel may remember that I came out here at the back end of 2022 and found 2 glowing larvae, both of which I took home and have done quite well. One's disappeared, but one pupated a couple of days ago. They never did glow later in 2022 or the early part of 2023. I haven't produced a single glow, and they're not hunted a great deal. But we have a glowing pupa, of which you'll be looking at now. Quite remarkable. And glowworm pupa are similar to larvae in that they will glow profusely at times, and that glow is often triggered by vibration. If you've got a pupa at home and you shut the door or the floor is not uncarpeted, walking across that floor is often enough to set them glowing. But quite a remarkable thing, the pupa. I still find that there's reminiscences of Alien or Geiger's Alien, especially the Alien Queen with that sort of shield over the head. Always remind me of that. I'm sure H.R. Geiger, who designed Alien, had a thing and a love for invertebrates. But hopefully we'll find some more female glowworms here at Clipston Old Quarter. 4 sections to go, and hopefully we'll find at least 4 or 3 to take us into double figures. That's something that I certainly wasn't expecting when I started out here tonight. Well, as you'll hear from the traffic that's going to go past shortly, I'm now at the end of the survey. This is the bottom end of section A, but I've come down through section D. There was 2 females in section D and single females in section C and B, but nothing in section A. So it's this last few yards walk to the car, and then a nice relaxing bath, I think, with possibly a gin and tonic tonight. We shall see how I feel, but pleased to get 11 and double figures here. But how high the counts will go will be interesting and perhaps worrying to find out over the coming weeks.